people safe, no looting, zero tolerance for looting. That's why these guys are out here, and I'm very grateful for them, particularly for these critical checkpoints that allow law enforcement to move more mobily and do the interior work.
Flashback.
Angelenos, we're still going through it, and to any of you and all of you that have experienced a loss, the grief, the anger, the just utter shock, I've seen the devastation. It is unbelievable the amount of loss that people have experienced. But we have to get through this crisis, and I know that we will. I was at the Sylmar command post today, and I saw the work of our first responders and how they've been able to defeat the fires in certain areas. We know we still have much more to go, and we know the winds are going to kick up again. But we got to stick together. We got to stand strong. And then we have to rebuild our city. We're the nation's second largest city, one of the greatest cities in the world. And we stay together, and we will rebuild an amazing city. So thank you, Angelenos, and my thoughts and prayers are out to all of you that are going through unbelievable loss and pain today.
As my plastic surgeon always said, if you gotta go, go with a smile.
Well, here we go. Another recall effort is starting up against the governor of California over the LA wildfires. Right now, at the moment, time of this recording, the Palisades fire is still burning. I believe it's about maybe 14-15% contained. The auto fire, what they deeming the auto fire, has reignited, supposedly. So that's continuing on. The Eaton fire is about almost 25-30% contained, but still burning. There are new situations going on. The Santa Ana winds, we're getting another round of that. Still not enough water to handle this. I mean, mostly they're bringing it in by air and by trucks. And the thing about it is, there's plenty of blame to go around. Everything from the LAFD to the mayor to all the way up to the governor's mansion. And the thing about it is the way the governor and the mayor is handling this. It's like, and the mayor alone, she has a big smile on her face. You've noticed a lot of the interviews, so she has a big smile on her face. She ain't taking this serious, to the point. The other half is the governor. Just he's trying to put the blame, climate change, Trump, this and that. You know, I didn't know that this was happening. You know, about 10 years ago, they put a bill out to basically build new reservoirs. Have they built it? No, they haven't. You know, the reservoir that they said, well, you know, for the Palisades, that was full. It was all, you know, they said, you know, some of the Palisades, yeah, it was full on there. But we have video footage that this has been empty for about almost a year. We're talking about this particular reservoir has been shut down since February and has been under repair since then, and no work has been done to remedy the repair work that is going on for you. I mean, there are people, there's been video footage, them going around, and you don't see anything really being done. And then they try to pass regulations, like, well, you can't get rid of your house, this, and that, and stuff like that. You know, trying to take control of the situation, let it control the way they want it. You know, this is another Maui. This is another Maui situation, once again. But this time around, a lot of people are turning against Newsom. Even those who were backing him for all this time, they're beginning to turn because basically they've lost property. You know, they've lost, you know, their homes where they live. And it's going to take, and I don't care what Newsom says, well, I'm going to put, a stop on these environment regulations. There's still a ton of other regulations that basically will delay any construction work in the state of California. Put that in perspective. Some of the stupidest things ever. I mean, do you know how many regulations you got to go through just to change your garage door? You have to have 3 inspections. Not 1, not 2, but 3 inspections. Just to change your garage door. Why? Why? It's your garage door. It's no major construction. It's just sleeping out the garage door and putting in a new one in. That's it. Then, of course, the regulations where basically they're going to tell you to put solar panels on the roof of your home. Yeah, that's going to add more money onto your total cost of rebuilding your home. And they're going to say, well, we'll give you a budget deal on that to the situation. Meanwhile, the government, at this point in its last days at the time of this recording, which was January 15th, Biden's going to give them $770. Remember the last time this another state was in turmoil because of a hurricane, and they got $700, and they have to pay it back? Yeah, that's right. And besides the death count, I think we're still at 24, 25, but I believe it's a lot higher than that. I really, truly believe that. Because the fires are not over. There's no way of sifting through the debris. And that's another thing, getting rid of all of this. Do you know how much debris that's in there that's basically burnt, that's going to have to be, garbage and all that, remains of these houses? What are they going to do with all of that? It's not recyclable. It's not at all, because basically, ask Puerto Rico. They've been through it also, not with a fire, but with a hurricane. And they, because they said, a guy made a joke about that Puerto Rico's a garbage island. But the truth is that they have a problem with recycling and basically taking care of their garbage. And that's the truth to the situation. Besides the electrical infrastructure issues that they had, the power went out New Year's Eve. But now we're hearing now that there's a new effort to recall Gavin Newsom. And we're going to read this off the New York Post. Recall effort against Newsom underway in California following the alleged mishandling of fires. It's not alleged, he mishandled it, And I have to say, the salmon thing is beginning to be knocked out of the woods here. And we'll talk about that toward the end. A recall attempt to knock California Governor Gavin Newsom out of office is underway as he faces sharp criticism for his handling of the Los Angeles wildfires, with opponents labeling his leadership a series of catastrophic failures. Organizers against Newsom vowed to file papers in the next 2 weeks in hopes of jump-starting the process that could lead to the Democratic ouster in the middle of his second term in the governor's mansion. The state chief executive, along with Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, is fighting for his political life as wildfires have torched more than 40,000 acres. That's 6.25 square miles, ladies and gentlemen. And that's about 3 times the size of Manhattan. And destroyed more than 12,000 structures and killed at least 24 people. Under the reign of Governor Newsom, living in California has become impossible for the average people through years of poor policies, which have increased the cost of living, increased crime, increased drug use and homelessness, increased the cost of burden on small businesses and communities while decreasing our professional standards, education standards, the disappearing of billions of taxpayers' dollars to failed pet programs and our public services. One recall organizer, Randy Economy, said in a statement. Remember, they were supposed to build a high-speed rail. Where is it? Never been done. It hasn't been completed. They started, but it just fell apart. Totally fell apart. This was most recent demonstrated by the woeful, unprepared, and incompetent responses to the fires currently ravaging the Los Angeles area. He told Newsweek on Monday that plans for a recall were in the works before the wildfires started, but chaos had shortened our time frame and changed things. A notice of intent needs to be filed first, and then recall supporters must collect about 1.3 million signatures in 5 months, according to the outlet. It's about 10% of the voters that voted in the last election, which was the November election on there. Economy, who led a recall against Newsom in 2021 and late 2024, started the organizing Saving California, which boasts a mix of professionals, working families, and community advocates. Governor Gavin Newsom's governance has been marked by a series of catastrophic failures, particularly his mismanagement of the recent wildfires, which has led to the unprecedented displacement and destruction. Dr. Harman David Hemati, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, another organizer, also argued. Wildfires are common and well-known an issue in California. The fact that the Governor Newsom has not been able to come up with any plan or prep after 6 years as governor and 8 years as a lieutenant governor shows that he is completely unprepared and lacks the compassion and will to lead California any longer, Hemati added. Newsom, 57, easily survived the 2021 recall vote, which I do question on that, in a state where Democrats hold a clear advantage in voter registration over Republicans. A spokesperson for Newsom dismissed the latest attempt to throw the Dem out of office, insisting to Newsweek that the governor is 100% focused on the fires. No, he's not. Ongoing rescue efforts and the recovery process, not politics. He's thrown this as politics. He has discussed it as politics. That's the thing. He throws it in there like, oh, Trump is throwing it as politics. No, Trump is telling you the truth. He's not only Trump. You've had many others that have come forward that says this is going to happen. There was a fireman on the Joe Rogan podcast that said all you need is the right situations to the situation, the winds blowing in the right direction, the right spark of fire, and you're not going to stop it. And so far, it hasn't been stopped. Continuing on, readers should still have the context that the same group of the far-right Trump acolytes have launched 6 different recall attempts against the governor since he's taken office. Each of them failed spectacularly, spokesperson Nathan Click said in a statement. Even the Republican Party leaders have criticized these repeated attempts as a brazen campaign finance grift, and recall organizers have been sued by their own donors for pocketing funds raised previously. Meanwhile, an online petition calling for Bass, who was in Ghana when the fire erupted last week, to be removed from office has grown to nearly 130,000 signatures. You can see, even in LA is heavily liberal. And you have Hollywood, you have Beverly Hills, the Palisades. All you got to do is look at the voter base there. When they say, well, it's the Republicans, look at the voter base. I mean, yes, the past election, you had about 38% voted for Trump, which is unprecedented for California in itself. But now we have this situation on there that basically you have the fires to that point that has damaged everybody's lives in LA. Finally, we urge the call for the immediate recall of Bass due to her gross mismanagement and failure to effectively respond to the devastating 2025 fires in and around the city. Part of the petition reads, and I'll tell you this, I just can't figure this out with the mayors now these days. They're traveling everywhere, and they're not staying with, you know that there's a problem. Why are you off to other countries? Now, if there's a situation where DC calls like all the mayors of each of the cities to come in, I can understand that kind of a situation. But to go off to another country for a inauguration of the first black woman to be made head of an African country, you're putting yourself in you're putting yourself into a danger zone. Because once you go overseas on there, you never know what's going to happen, and especially in places like Ghana, and many other African countries. You got to remember that situation, the instability of these countries. You're going there, fine, to that situation. Hey, listen, they elected a woman on there, but the thing about it is, most of those countries change leaders faster than people change underwear. That's a big problem there. The other half is her shady past. Yes, that's right. I'm going to bring a little bit up on that. She has Marxist intention to the situation. And I think that's why she smiles too much on her freaking press conferences. If you've seen a lot of her press conferences to that situation. I mean, she was at a cocktail dinner that basically at the time when the fires had started. Her past is very questionable. How she got elected, I have no idea. But then again, California politics. But getting back to Gavin Newsom, this whole situation with the fish and everything like that. John Stossel put on his YouTube channel, put out a video talking about the salmon situation on the dams being damaged, being broken up to redirect the water because of the salmon can't get up the dams themselves. They can't swim upstream, to reproduce. There's some lies behind that, and John Stossel put that out. Basically, the dams that are out now have the ability to allow salmon to swim upstream. There's a section of it where they safely can go upstream on there. It's been described on there. It's not needed to that situation. Once again, here's the thing. Environmentalists putting blame on things that are false. And this has been going on for quite some time with many different things. The other part of the situation, and this is what not talked about, and when it comes to the salmon, is guess what eats salmon? Bears, which we are having a bear situation in certain places, and also sea lions, which their population has exploded for quite some time, for the last decade or so. But nothing has been done to that because they said, well, we can't kill, sea lions and stuff like that because it would be bad. But their population is there and they're eating the salmon. This is the same thing with the owl. I think was it the owl, spotted owl, and the logging, which that was basically a lie in itself and killed logging business in that territory. You have, environmental activists out there that are causing dangers to our country itself because they said, well, we got people from outside our country that are calling our government officials saying, well, no, you got to save the salmon. You got to save the little fishy on there. But they don't live here. They don't live here. Why are they complaining about it? Say, stay in your own space when it comes to the situation. But yet you got some politicians that said, well, we got to save the fishing on there, but not doing the full research. This is the same thing that's happening with congestive pricing in New York City. It was not properly researched. This would have not been implemented if it was properly researched. And we got a couple of stories on that because of the state of the collapse that is coming to the MTA in New York. You think the California wildfires are going to be a situation? We got an MTA-ish travel issue that's going to be an issue down the line. So comment. Let me know your thoughts about this. Tell me your thoughts on this whole situation on a recall. Do you think that the recall will be successful this round, or will it be unsuccessful? Will he continue to create a detriment to the Californians on there, to that situation? Or will there be government intervention to finally put a cork in this whole situation, to finally put these fires out? So let me know in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like, share this video, and hopefully today's the day I've earned your subscription. So until next time, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for clicking on this video. Be sure to check out Otaku Thursday every Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern. And also, we have a new sort of a Otaku Thursday Bits that is also playing during the week, little segments of a previous episode of Otaku Thursday. So do catch it. It's out there. So until next time, thank you for tuning in, and so long.